Hi kids, I'm going to read a fun little story for you today. The name of the story is Ira Investigates the Invisible. The author of the story is Menaka Raman. The illustrator is Anjora Noronha, and it is brought to us by Pratham Books. So let's go and see what's invisible. Where did I put that petri dish? Oh, hello! Have you seen a small glass dish with a lid? It's for an important experiment I'm doing. I've put 1 billion cells inside it. I know what you're thinking. How can you fit 1 billion of anything inside a small dish? My name is Dr. Ira, and I am a microbiologist. I'm not the kind of doctor you see when you have a fever or a earache. I'm a doctor that studies invisible things. I know that sounds ridiculous, but let me explain. What if I told you that all around us in the air, soil, water, and even inside us, in our stomachs, our noses, our ears, are thousands, millions, trillions of tiny living creatures called microbes. Ew, yuck, chee. These are around 1 trillion kinds of microbes in our planet. While each of these microbes looks different and lives in a different habitat, most microbes can be broadly divided into bacteria, viruses, fungi, algae, protozoa. As a microbiologist, I spend my time studying bacteria. Would you like to see where I work? Welcome to my lab. Yuck! What is that smell? Ugh! This orange has been sitting on my friend Tashi's desk for a week now. See how it's covered in green fuzz? That's fungus. Shall we take a closer look? Let's use a microscope. It helps us see things that our eyes aren't powerful enough to see on their own. I know they look scary, but some microbes can be very helpful. For instance, this fungus tells us that orange is spoiled and we should not eat it. Do you know there are microbes that can eat plastic? They could help solve plastic pollution. Not all microbes are friendly though. Some types of the bacteria E. coli can cause tummy aches. But if we get to know them better and understand why they make us sick, we can try to prevent illnesses. That's why I study how E. coli reacts to changes in their environment. I use some very cool tools to do this. A petri dish is a circular, transparent dish with a flat lid and is used to maintain microbes in certain conditions. A microscope is an instrument which makes really small objects look bigger by magnifying them. Pipette, a slender tube with a bulb at one end, is used for transferring or measuring small quantities of liquid. An autoclave is a strong heated container that uses high pressure and temperature for chemical reactions and other processes. Let's ask Tashi if he's seen my petri dish and tell him to throw away that orange. Hi Tashi! Tashi was my first friend at university. When I first came to study, I felt lost. I didn't speak much English and all my classes were hard. Plus, everyone else seems so smart. I just couldn't keep up. I wanted to give up so many times and just go home. But how could I? I'm the first woman in my family to go to college, and they supported me every step of the way. I didn't want to let them or myself down. Besides, I loved exploring this invisible world around me. So I kept trying. Learning not to give up is important, especially when you're a microbiologist. Because a lot of the experiments I do fail. What keeps me going is when things work. It's so exciting when you've learned something that no one else knows yet. But even when things don't work out, it's all right. It helps me ask the next question. Like, where's my petri dish? Tashi hasn't seen it either. I need to do the experiment again. Will you keep me company? I'm going to take some E. coli and grow it in a conical flask and see what happens when I don't give it enough to eat. I'll take another E. coli sample in a second flask and give it food. Then I'll wait and I'll see what happens to the number of E. coli in both of these flasks. This is called making an observation. After the experiment is completed, I'll compare the E. coli growth in both flasks and write down my observations. These are the results of my experiment. It'll help me answer the question, does the amount of food affect the growth of E. coli? What I learned from these results is called an inference. A typical E. coli growth experiment takes 10 to 12 hours to complete. Since I don't need to sit here and watch the cells the entire time, I read about new discoveries, attend meetings, and talk to other scientists about their work. This is important because I learn exciting new things from them and often get ideas for my own work. Sometimes we also just sit around and have tea and chat. Scientists may seem very serious, but really, we're just like you and your friends. We like to play hockey, sing in the shower, and read scary stories. We're also curious about the world around us. We like to ask questions constantly. Why? Why not? How? What if? We're like detectives who look for clues that help answer all these fascinating questions, even if they're inside your stomach. Speaking of which, I'm hungry. Let's eat. Tashi, grow your own mold. Would you like to know how to do an experiment of your own? Let me tell you how. The fungus that grows on old food is called mold. To grow your own mold, take a piece of leftover roti or a slice of stale bread. Sprinkle it with water. Place it on a plate and cover it with a clear glass bowl. Keep it at room temperature and out of direct sunlight for 2 days. Check the food and see if white, blue, green, or grey fungus has appeared on it. Leave it alone for 2 more days and then check on it. How does the mold look now? Make a note. Repeat this every 2 days until day 10. What do you think will happen? The water and the room temperature create the perfect conditions for growing mold. The mold will look different on different items of food. Why do you think that is so? That is because different kinds of mold spores like some food better than the others. At the end of 10 days, carefully dispose of the moldy food with the help of your teacher or your parent. Maybe you could add it to your compost pit. I hope you enjoyed the story. I hope you learned something interesting about the life of a microbiologist. I do hope you try and grow your own mold, but please do take the permission of your parent. And remember to throw it away, because bad moldy food can cause tummy aches. See you till next time.